Yeah.
Joe, if you're listening, you stupid fuck, he looks like one of those guys from Long Island that wants to be a white rapper, but he's 30-something years old, lives in his parents' basement with the droopy cap and the whatever, but he thinks he's Howard Stern, and he's got a cool way of talking in the microphone. And he's a shock jock or whatever, and somehow or another he accumulates followers on Twitter. It's fucking pathetic, so please, nobody listen to anything involving a guy named Joe Cronin, because it's just so fucking sad.
What's up, everybody? There's a lot of little stuff to talk about tonight on Out of Nowhere. I'm going to be joined by Jake DeMarco at Countdown Ended on Twitter. I'm at CorruptedPod on Twitter. This is Out of Nowhere, episode 177. Full Gear is coming. AEW NXT ratings, Randy Orton's contract, Seth Rollins, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. So much to talk about, and we are going to do that right now on Out of Nowhere. Blech. It's time for motherfucking war in this motherfucker. Let's go. It's wartime, motherfucker. Sneeze all over me, Jake. Sneeze all over me, bro. I think a bug just flew into my ear while we started this show today. You ever had a bug fly in your ear?
I have. Had to have it pulled out with tweezers. It was awful.
Wait a minute. You had to have the bug pulled out with tweezers?
Yeah, I had to have it removed. They kept trying to flush it. It wouldn't come out, and had to go to the doctors and get it taken out.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I was 10 or 11. I was swimming.
Why did you have to... Oh, my God. Why did you have to tell me that? Because, like, I'm always thinking about that. Out. Yeah, like, I'm always like, what if that happened? Nah, that's, like, rare as shit. That doesn't happen. Really. And now you're telling me it happened to you. Like, fuck off.
Grosser than that, it was suffocated from them flushing it, and then they had to keep flushing it afterwards to get, like, bug parts out of it. Ugh. It was disgusting, because it didn't come out all as one piece.
Dude, remember last year in June, or not last year, but remember in June when I had my ear problem?
Your ear, oh my God, that was brutal.
It was
I
so
think
weird.
You did everything home remedy possible to try and alleviate that torturous pain.
That will go down. That is right now, I will say, that is the worst pain and the worst thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And I had testicle surgery. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Oh, anything to deal with the ears is god-awful.
Can you hear sounds yet or no?
Yeah, I can indeed.
How about
right
that?
Off the bat.
Holy fuck.
Fucking A right.
Holy hell, that's badass, man. Absolutely badass. We are live as we speak, and we are looking good right now on the stream and everything. Everything is looking good to me. How's everybody in the chat doing? Got that belt ready for somebody to take the top donator spot tonight? We'll see what happens with that. We have lots of questions. We're waiting to see if the alert goes out to everybody that we're live for Out of Nowhere. That is something that we'll see if that happens. I've been being told by a few people that there's 0 alert so far, and that I wasn't even popping up in the stream yet. So for them, but they happen to just come right in here and find me, so that's good. I'm sure we're going to get the party.
FYI is that, not to cut you off, but soon enough, I guess they're getting rid of stream alerts. When you go live, it'll only pop up on mobile if the person is in the app at that point in time. No idea why. This is another one of their genius ideas. So if you schedule a stream and don't just go live, not yet, but soon, they're going to change it where there's no notification.
Well, it already feels like it works against people anyway.
Yeah.
And I almost don't tell people this because everybody just copies everything I do anyway. But the bottom line is if you schedule a stream anywhere right before you go live, it's like worthless.
Yeah.
Because number one, people are like, oh, cool, a video, and then they click on it, and then they're like, oh, 24 hours from now? Fuck this guy. And then other people, it alerts them that time, but then doesn't alert them the next time.
Yeah, when you actually go live. So.
That's why I try to always come out with the video around the time that we go live, like an hour before or 3 hours before. People know the schedule. It's just important to know the schedule. That's all. You know, I'm live goddamn almost every day. I've got my videos coming out constantly. You just got to keep coming back to the channel and checking it out. Monday after Raw, Tuesday night Throwdown on my other channel. Wednesday night, AEW review. Thursday night, Out of Nowhere. Friday night, Monetize This. Saturday night's Corrupted on Patreon. But on Patreon, if you're a patron, even a $1 patron, you will get an email alert to your phone that does alert you, I believe.
Yes, consistently.
Yeah, so you'll know I'm live when I do that, which I sent out earlier. So,
and you can help choose topics on some shows, submit questions directly for Q&As ahead of time. And it's a easier direct line of communication with you. So
yeah, so all that stuff is a good reason to become a patron, even if it's only $1. But definitely shout out to the people that are going way above and beyond that. Much appreciated to you guys. The $25 producer level and everything else. We'll talk about
a lot of badass support. Speaking of, as you mentioned, going live, I was not aware that this worked for Monday as well. I don't know if you know. WWE is in the midst of their European tour, and SmackDown Live will be taped tomorrow, but they're taping Raw as well.
I did see this 3 days in before.
For some reason, when I read it the other day, it didn't click.
We didn't talk about it yet. We haven't said a word about it yet.
Yeah, I read the announcement for how they're doing their shows over there, and it said Raw and SmackDown taping, but the way they have it listed, it says SmackDown live event, Raw live event, SmackDown Raw, and they're all live events.
Right.
So in my mind, I took it as, oh, they're doing a SmackDown live, and then they're going to have a Raw event. No, they're taping Raw on Friday night as well. So now they've taped SmackDown, previously, back when it was on, Thursdays and beforehand, it was never a great thing, but people weren't too focused on SmackDown then. Once they went live, the most they've had it is where, you would have it be taped just, 3 or 4 hours before. And even that, you'd still get spoiled for the most part, obviously. Now we're going to know about all of Raw's contents Friday night. You got 3 days to get through before you actually even get to Raw. So what is the point of watching Raw at all?
Yeah, I don't even want to. It's like you don't even want to watch when it's taped.
No, not at all. They did say that originally Bray Wyatt was not scheduled to be at the arena Friday. That has changed. He will be there live in person on SmackDown Live. There's no schedules for him to be there for the Raw taping, though, and there's no word about Brock Lesnar being there for the Raw taping either, which I doubted he would travel to Europe after coming back from Saudi.
Yeah, I mean, my God. Imagine if he did. Like, what a psycho.
Yeah, for him, I mean, that would be real above and beyond, especially when he did them a favor of showing up for the Brooklyn SmackDown show that happened the night after Crown Jewel.
Right.
So, really, really interesting right off the bat.
Yeah, it just makes me less interested in SmackDown. I won't read the spoilers though, but I'm sure they're going to get told to me though. That's the problem.
I try to avoid them like the plague. As you know, it doesn't usually work out that way though, unfortunately. And
well, the plague is pretty easy to avoid nowadays, to be honest.
Unless you got all those anti-vax moms,
it might
down
come
to
back.
The doctor's office.
It might come back with the way things are going. Yeah.
Polio, measles, everything else is on an upswing. So why not bring back the plague too? What makes me laugh is you hit the nail damn straight on the head when you had pretty much alluded to the reason why Vince left before everyone else. And a lot of people were coming up with this rampant speculation that, he left people behind or he knew there would be trouble. And you had stated, emphatically right off the bat that, no, this is just what Vince does. He always leaves right away. He always has private charter.
Right. And
he leaves right away to go ahead and get prepared for the next show. That's his, he's done this for years. So a lot of it was people trying to clickbait, come up with like a sexy headline, but Vince left us, but that wasn't the case.
Seth Rollins hates fans, like that.
That's more speculative than it is.
yeah.
Actual, clickbait, and that at least has some merit. But here, consistently, Vince has always, left ahead of the roster, as far as time has gone back with him being in this, position. So. It just so happens that, he got on his jet, went home, and then found out that there was issues. And as far as
that's
clearing up some rumors, I mean, that seemed to be the obvious, but a lot of people were so deep in these conspiracy theories that we weren't sure what was up really, hearing a lot of misinformation. And it has basically been said to me that if there was an issue of non-payment, then Vince wouldn't have shown up to Saudi at all. It would have been canceled.
Right. Yeah, he wouldn't.
That seems more logical to me. Not him delaying the show by 45 minutes live. Not, we had heard that, the show was delayed by 45 minutes. I guess that was just strictly a technical issue. So that seems to make more sense than Vince challenging the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia while in their homeland and risking, his team being beheaded. So. I mean, it is madness. As ballsy as Vince is, I can't picture him saying, I'm not putting that on your team. I can't see him. Not so much that he would back down, but I can't see him being so just blatantly disrespectful.
Yeah, he's the type of guy. He's the type of guy to take the loss at the time and then fuck it later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think of this. Think of the Ultimate Warrior.
Get rid of the situation.
Think of the Ultimate Warrior. I won $1 million before we go out there. WrestleMania. He holds up Vince McMahon hostage. I want $1 million, or whatever it was. I want $1 million, Vince. I'm not going out there. And then, or whatever it was. It wasn't WrestleMania 8, but you know what I mean.
It was SummerSlam, I believe.
Yeah, and Vince right there has to be like, I mean, what are you talking about? No, I'm not going out there unless I get that money. And then Vince says, okay, we'll give you the whatever. We'll give you the money. Go out there.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
He goes out there. Vince gives him the money, but later fires him. That is Vince's track record. Vince would totally do that. He'd be like, all right, they're fucking us. Well, there's nothing we can do about it now. Let's just go finish this off, and then guess what? We won't be back, motherfucker. Look
at the Montreal screw job,
Right.
Brett screwed Brett. That's Vince's MO.
Vince, like, honestly, this kind of reminds me of myself. This is the type of shit I'd do. It's basically like, I'm telling you how I feel, and there's no real way out of this. Well, so then it's like you go from, it's like you go into passive aggressive, but like then you fucking, but it's like you're justified in doing it, if it makes any sense. Like you've already fought as much as you can, so now you're gonna go full passive aggressive, and then fucking the aggression's gonna come when the guy's not looking afterwards. It's like very weird. It's like if a guy walked up to you on the street and was like, "Give me your fucking wallet or I'll kill you," and you're like, "Jesus, pal, here you go. Here's my wallet. Take it. Jesus Christ." And then as he's getting in his car to drive away or wherever he's doing, you happen to get a glimpse of his, license plate. You know what I mean? And then you like fucking follow the guy home and kill him. Like, I mean, like, it's the weirdest thing. It's something like that. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
I murdered his dog in front of him, and I burnt his house down. Jesus, Vince, all he did was take $20 out of your wallet.
Yeah,
I had to set an example.
Some guy comes in and tries to rob your store, and you're like, all right. And he's like a guy you see sometimes. You let him do it, and then the next day you see him, you break his ankles. Like, it's weird. It's like, it's totally how Vince operates. So, like, you're right. In the moment, and I feel like he's even more passive now that he would just be like, all right, we'll just roll with these punches, whatever. So, yeah, I never really bought into that 100%, but...
No, but, I mean, it was amusing to think of Vince going up against the entire kingdom, solo.
Yeah, the idea of it is hilarious. Let me play a donation here. It sounds like you can hear them anyway, but let's play one.
Super Chat Party.
Here it is.
Remember Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns in one game for Polk High. Ross and Rachel were on a break. Jordan Peele and Jordan Miles are racist, and the Spaz Phoenix podcast era has begun.
Hell yeah, man.
Anchor,
Congratulations.
Spotify, and more.
Congratulations, Spaz. I still have to check out your podcast, and now that it's on Spotify, that'll make it easier for me to find it. I'll still have to check it out, man. Thank you for the $10 Canadian, and that will put you on the top of the board to start this bitch off here. Let me see here. 10 Canadian dollars. 10 Canadian dollars from Spaz Phoenix.
Hell yeah, taking that belt by storm.
Yeah, last week it was heavily
contested.
Yeah, there was a lot of fighting for this belt last week on every show.
Yeah,
it's pretty
night
crazy
after night, especially the AEW show.
Yeah, the AEW last week was insane. Not this week, but last week. But I swear that there is a YouTube issue tonight because I can tell, because normally there's 700 in here by now, or 800 even. So I can tell that the alert didn't go out to everybody. But that's, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it seems about half got it so far, especially going by what people said in the chat to let us know they received it.
So weird, man.
Yeah, right off the bat, you just brought up, we mentioned AEW, and I had a feeling, I said last night, I totally envisioned NXT getting a ratings boost by the invasion happening and people becoming more accustomed to the NXT talent. And then they showed the OC invading NXT right off the bat. A lot of people said, oh, wow, those guys have never been in NXT, so this is quite a moment, and, a little bit of history being made here.
It will go down next week, though.
Well, it will, because they're not going to be live with Raw and SmackDown, which is unfortunate, because they were building a good amount of steam here. And that's why I feel like poor planning on their part. But they were only, 9,000 viewers less compared to AEW this week. AEW received 822,000, up from last week. And NXT brought in 813,000. So great on both shows. 9,000 viewer difference.
I got to admit, I was a little wrong, too, because I thought AEW would go back to 900. And I thought NXT would go to, I think, 700, I said. So instead they both landed in 800. So it was weird.
Yeah, and they both dominated in the, the highly sought-after demographic of that 18 to 49. So... That's where they're pulling number 1 and number 2 stats for the 18 to 49 demographic that people are so desperate to tap into. Those are the ones that tend to, obviously shop more and become more accustomed to spending money with the advertisers. So lots to be made, but I'm thrilled that both are on the the upswing. It's been a little bit discouraging, and I know we've had the World Series and other things, but even still. I'm glad to see both of them doing better in the ratings.
I think you're going to see next week, to throw my ratings predictions next week out, I think next week you're going to see AEW probably hit maybe 900,000, again, back up to that. So I think they'll go up again a little bit. And I think NXT will go back down a little bit to the 780, 790s. So I think NXT will go down a little bit, and I think AEW will go up a little bit. And that's because they're coming off a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think Full Gear is absolutely going to be beneficial in the ratings for Dynamite. I picture that to be 900,000 as well. I think NXT is going to be about 830. I think they're going to go up a little bit.
Wow, I think they're going to go down.
Yeah, it depends on how they're used, but for what they're planning with more of this invasion angle and more people coming to NXT, I guess they're going to announce some stars heading to NXT on Raw on Monday, and I think that's going to drive viewers over from Raw to NXT.
Yeah, it could. I mean, this already did. Every time they do it, it does. But So they got their little formula here.
Yeah, and it's working for them. AJ Styles went ahead and pitched that he would love to see himself and the OC go against the Undisputed Era at Survivor Series. But I guess that match is going to take place on NXT television in the next few weeks.
Why would I mean, because they all have something else to do at Survivor Series already. Why would
not yet.
I thought we figured that out.
Undisputed Era, you got two of them in the tag match, but we still have Adam Cole and Roderick Strong free at this point in time. So they could have done, one of the OC, either Gallows or Anderson and AJ, again, 2-on-2. But I guess their planning is to go full out and have the match on TV instead.
All right. Well, I mean, that will be good for NXT because I'll be interested to see that. So, yeah, but I mean again, people showing up on NXT, it doesn't make me go, yeah, like this is great. Like anybody showing up on NXT, it doesn't make me go, wow, here we go. I mean, there is a little bit of that, and there are some people out there that are completely like, fuck, I don't give a shit, who cares? Well, you care because on NXT, most people are better. So you're getting to see these guys, I wonder if Vince has it backwards. Like Vince is like, oh, look at this. We send the star power there, the numbers go up. But it's really not about that to me. It's about the fact that I'm getting to see guys that I like in the NXT environment there, as opposed to the main event environment, which the rich on board by and sucks. So that's the reason why you like it when they go down there. But again, people bouncing around SmackDown, NXT, Monday Night Raw, whatever. It's not going to be enough for me to be like, wow, this is so great. But whatever. Yeah,
with some stars and some feuds, it has a little bit more of an allure to it, more interest. And I have an affinity for NXT anyways, so seeing other stars kind of get thrown in the mix is interesting, but it also has to be handled a certain way. And I appreciate what they did with the OC. It was odd that they were the only ones to show up. It was like, oh, they're the only ones that give a damn about invading NXT at this point in time. I know what they were going for, but still, it just seemed a little odd to not have a few more people or even anyone from the women's division show up. But granted, the ending was great. They even hinted at a, Balor Club reunion, Bullet Club reunion there, however you want to put it. And there was some intrigue overall with that ending. So,
speaking of invaded, here comes Slob75. Hello.
Excuse me, Joe?
Hey, how you doing, man? What's been up?
What the fuck did you just call me?
What?
You just called me Slob75?
What?
What?
Name right.
Wait a minute. Whoa. I didn't know. What? I called you what?
You just said, introducing Slob79.
What?
No, I did not say that.
I think you have to go back and listen to it.
I think you should go back and...
Invading is Tommy.
I think I was talking to the guy. I don't think you should go back and listen to this again.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry, Joe.
No,
I thought you...
I called you a fat fucking asshole is what I called you. Yeah, no,
Did you watch AEW, Tommy?
I called you...
Oh, yeah. Epic matches. Epic show. Just always impressed with AEW and all the epic matches they got on there.
Slob, what have you been doing tonight, Slob?
What are you saying, Joe?
I think he was trying to talk
I was just saying, I was like, what have you been up to? Like, have you been catching up with all the wrestling shows, Slob? Like, have you seen everything?
Did you see NXT as well, or
did you see NXT, or you don't watch NXT? Did you see AEW?
You there,
Tommy? So, are you talking to me? Or are you talking to some other dude?
Oh no, Tommy. Yeah, just talking to you, Tommy. Tommy, did you see AEW?
Yes, I watched AEW, and I loved the promo that Cody Rhodes dropped. Honestly, that was an amazing promo that he delivered.
Even The Rock complimented him on that promo. So
yeah, The Rock was hitting him up, man. Slob, if you were to do a promo, Slob, would you be like, oh, I'm Tommy NC, and would you like be really angry like Cody Rhodes, or would you be more like calm, like I'm very confident in my Slob self? Would you be very confident about the things you say to yourself.
Fuck you, Joe. You're calling me a slob. Fuck you. Yeah, you don't think I catch that, Joe? Stop calling me a fucking slob. No, I'm hearing what you're saying, and you're calling me a slob. So, you want to insult my integrity and call me a fucking slob?
The fuck
you know what? I'm fucking going,
but what
Joe.
Are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Tommy, what are you?
Slob.
What are you?
I called you Tommy. I called you Tommy.
Slob. Yes, you are. I'm catching you. Fuck you, Joe.
You didn't catch me at all, slob.
Meow, what are you talking about?
Oh my god.
Try not to lose it.
Trying not to fucking die, dude. Oh my god.
Well, shit, I got him. He's hearing things, I'm telling you. Yeah, because Tanza's right.
Yeah.
He's losing it.
He was like, I'll be there for tonight, but not for monetizers. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you call out of nowhere. That's a wrestling show. Wrestling
from Connecticut.
You
fucking slob.
I didn't even call him slob, really. He said that, and I went, well, okay. Like, then I started doing it.
Now we got to go with it.
I don't know what happened there. But anyway, listen, I appreciate the call, Tommy. Maybe call back if you'd like to talk wrestling, and we'll talk to you about that, slob, Tommy. Really appreciate it.
Where am I living? Where am I living? Where am I living? Right now.
Fuck the Los Angeles Chargers. Philip Rivers is such an asshole. I bet he sucks mannequin testicles when no one is looking at the homo store in the mall. He has been in the league forever and never won shit. Raiders win the game tonight. Poopy armadillos.
Philip Rivers does suck ass. I do know that. Ryback, thank you very much for the 1050, Ryback. We're going to go ahead and make you the top donator now, Ryback. Or whatever that name was. There was a lot of Ryback, something or other. But you are indeed going to take that top spot. Shout out to Ryback. What's up? How's it going? Gurgle. Much appreciated, Ryback. Very much appreciated. Speaking of, since we're like a little derailed, since we're a little bit off topic here a little bit, I would like to bring up the fact that our old friend Catman had mentioned us subvertedly on
from New York,
from Connecticut.
Fucking greasy ass.
As always, he takes a shot at Grimm's Toy Show and myself, but he doesn't mention us by name because he's a coward.
Got to ricochet those shots. Can't have a direct
Scratched
fire.
out that read the Fiend.
Let's
Seth
hear it.
Rollins. And then there is the Go Home Show for Pro Wrestling.
Is this it?
Sheets picked up my shitty scratched out that read the Fiend defeated you for the Universal Championship. Seth Rollins.
I can't believe he shits on Grimm.
Then there is going about chasing clouts. There is going about desperation on some
clout.
channels.
Did Chris
We
Van
don't go
Fish
to
Fish
meet
Fillet
and
text
greets
me
and
back
berate
yet?
Seth Rollins, even though we could very well do so.
This is the guy who tweets out everybody to vote for him for everything.
And make a lot of money off of it. We're not going to go out there and meet Seth Rollins and troll him with pictures of himself scratched out that read, The Fiend defeated you for the Universal Championship. We're also not going to go and make videos on Seth Rollins complaining why not enough dirt sheets picked up my shitty video. And then there is the Go Home.
He shits on Grimm, then just shits on me, and talks about making videos on Seth Rollins' clout chasing, but then praises himself to the Almighty for being blocked.
Before has he criticized him?
But he's
endlessly.
He's done the same thing a million times. In fact, so many times that I was sent 50 examples of how he's full of shit, including this one from Mr. Cueball, who sent me this video. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins called out for negative public behavior 1 year ago.
Look at that. Roman doesn't care about you.
Yeah, all the bashing of Roman.
Title. You absolutely. You said Seth Rollins doesn't care about the fans. He puts Roman doesn't care about you, but we're the assholes.
Unbelievable, man. Come on, bro. Stop being a fucking douchebag, JD. All right?
You can use it.
Come on, man. You can use it. Didn't even say you by name there. Hilarious. Anyway, I enjoyed that. Many people sent me that clip. I was forced to hear that clip. I didn't care. But many of you sent me the clip, and I thought that was hilarious. So,
a plethora of examples of a stuffed beaver calling out Rollins, and I'm telling you.
And people always go, Joe, why do you bring him up randomly all these times? It's because I hear a million of those clips, like all the time, where he says something that he knows I'll know, but nobody else will understand. And that's not even one of them. That's one that everybody understands who he's talking about there, making fun of Grimm and then me. But I get it. You know what I mean? I totally get it. You know, you don't want to tell everybody else about the other people. I understand that. But it is hilarious. You midget.
I'm surprised he was able to come up with those words because Solid Monster didn't say them first.
Yeah, go steal some more from
Joe
Sully.
Jake, how quickly do you think YouTube would die if Spotify and others had a video platform?
Joe Jake, how quickly do you think YouTube would die if Spotify and others had a video? It wouldn't die really, because as long Spaz Phoenix, as long as the most revenue and views comes from YouTube, you know, people are going to stay on YouTube. So it's a real problem, man. It's until that changes, it's not gonna change. Look at VidMe. Look at how good VidMe was. Remember how good it was? The app on your phone was fucking great for a startup company. VidMe's phone app. I don't know if you guys remember VidMe from 2 years ago, or now I guess 4 years ago maybe.
Yeah, it's been a while.
On your phone, the fucking app was money. It was beautiful. It was like, wow, this is really good. And they had monetization a little bit, and they didn't have any
direct
ads.
Content creator support, and they had special features for those that basically subscribed. You could join ahead of time. There was a lot of things that were, you know, content creator supportive and very heavy in, keeping the creators happy, less about the sponsors. And that was their ultimate demise, unfortunately, was, not enough sponsorship.
In the end, the real answer is this. The reason why everyone else has failed, to me, is because Patreon is the answer right now. To be honest, the second most popular place to go to watch content is Patreon. And it's a fucking paywall site. So it's like there's nowhere really else to go. I mean, I guess Twitch is number 2, I guess. I guess it's YouTube, Twitch, and Patreon. Those are the 3 really places. But until someone else can come up with something else, none of these sites have the searchability that YouTube has. YouTube has Google, which is like 90% of you guys are using goddamn Google to search for everything. So if you're using Google to search for everything, then that's what you're never going to find these other videos. Everyone's on YouTube. Millions of people are on YouTube searching videos right now. And the discoverability on YouTube, and I know that people, I know it's hard. I know YouTube is hard. People that have tried YouTube, it's hard or whatever. And I know it is. Even if you know what you're doing a little bit, it can be very difficult. I've launched multiple different channels and had success with new audiences, but it is difficult. But I know a lot about YouTube now. I could start a channel from scratch tomorrow and I could grow it. It would be a slow growth, but I'd grow it. You can't really do that almost anywhere else without getting some sort of famous moment or being there at the right time as a game launches to be live with it on Twitch, or like you have to really grind on Twitch like a crazy bastard. On Twitch live all the time, gaining a few followers here or there, once a week, maybe one a week. Like, it's
everything requires a bit of luck, no doubt. Right place, right time. But Twitch especially is just so damn hard to go ahead and really cut into and try and garner more attention, because it's just set up in such a way that there's hardly any way to really advance in growth. They have everyone in the front page, and it's the same few channels that you're going to see repeatedly, and unfortunately they're all just supporting each other. So
right, yeah. So I don't think you're going to get that, man. I don't think you're going to see that. But appreciate Mr. Midget for the shout out. I actually appreciate the shout out, man. The non-verbal shout out, much appreciated.
Made me laugh.
It was kind of funny, like, to be honest. But moving on from that, I did want to acknowledge it because hundreds of people decided they wanted to hit me up about it. But please don't I don't want to see all the hate for him every second and everything. I don't want to do that. I don't. He's funny. I'm funny. I'm having fun with it. I look at it as fun. I enjoy the the shit talk in a way. You know what I mean? I kind of like it. As long as nobody's really getting hurt, nobody's really doing anything nefarious or something to each other. The shit talk back and forth is kind of funny here or there for a second. It is. But other than that, let's move on. Full Gear is coming. You probably have some other news, maybe.
Yeah.
First,
I mean, I've got really quickly. We'll get into this. I had heard earlier before it was reported elsewhere. I was like, I got a little bit of a scoop, but unfortunately that didn't last long.
Right.
Aleister Black is currently out of action. He has a knee that's tweaked, and they're not sure if it's, they're hoping that it should be a quick return and that he won't be out of action long. But this is just kind of, the same old song and dance with WWE currently, unfortunately, because we get a report earlier today that Lars Sullivan is recovering slower than expected. They were hoping that he'd be here before the, Survivor Series.
I'm Lars Sullivan, and I broke my KKK hood.
The freak.
The freak.
They're saying that it won't be until the summer of 2020.
Of what? For who?
For Lars Sullivan.
Oh, yeah. Well, we thought 8 months.
They were hoping Survivor Series at one point, because you figure he's been out of action since April.
Yeah, that's...
Jeff Hardy was injured, and then he got credited for injuring Jeff Hardy.
Wait, was that when Lars got hurt in April now?
Yeah, it was around that time in April.
Are you serious? It's been that long?
It's been that long. April or May. I know for a fact because Jeff Hardy got injured and hurt his knee, so then they gave Lars the credit of injuring him, and then 2 weeks later it was like, oh, wow, look at that. It's kind of like a funny bit of a coincidence that Lars
Jeff had a steel knee
injured now.
Jeff's knee hurt Lars.
Yeah. And speaking of Jeff Hardy, unfortunately, his court case today was pushed back till December 5th, I guess. And he now has another court hearing that day in Monroe County. This will be concerning his DWI charge.
Fuck all that. I just want Matt and Jeff's wives to fight in a ring.
As you know, this whole arrest, and first with the injury, then the arrest,
right.
The entire ordeal sparked a whole family feud. And it even says here that Hardy sustained the knee injury April 20th at a house show. Lars Sullivan was given credit for Hardy's injury. 3 weeks later, Lars Sullivan was taken out of action. So it was like the first week of May or second week that Lars was injured.
Damn.
But yeah, so now with Jeff, they said that, he might be returning soon as far as injury goes, but he's supposedly set to be cleared for November, but he's not listed as a return because he has to take care of personal issues. First, he has to go to court as of December 5th again for his DWI, and then on top of it, they're going ahead and they want them to obviously be a pair. They want the Hardy Boys as a tag team. He got injured when they had the tag titles. They want them to go ahead and be a unit. And I guess neither man has any interest of teaming together from what was said and speculated at this point in time. So again, this is from what I've read online, but that I would imagine that is true by the way that they've been interacting, the families have been interacting on Twitter. I could certainly suffice to say that seems believable.
Oh, yeah, they've been nuts. And who knows what else.
And we know that WWE has had no interest in Matt Hardy as a solo act right now.
Right, he knows that.
He's been on the shelf forever.
He's known that now for over maybe 2 years now.
So unfortunately that case is unfortunate, but that's how they have him booked. And
that's how they view him.
Yeah. They just don't want him as a solo act.
They don't care.
So if he's unwilling to work with his brother and his brother still has issues to take care of, we're not going to see them back for quite some time. And plus, this is freezing Jeff's contract, last we heard, I believe. So
right, so now they can't even be the Hardy Boys for like 6 months if Matt leaves.
Yeah.
Which is what they wanted. This is like this. They do this with everybody. That's why that's there.
Exactly.
I feel like it's happening to a lot of tag teams. And then someone can't be like, "Oh, I'm hurt," and then just say they're leaving.
Exactly, not anymore.
That's the other thing.
And when you really compound everything, I mean, so we discussed Aleister Black, Lars Sullivan. We know Jinder Mahal is still out. Alexa Bliss has not competed since teaming with Nikki Cross. That was on October 6th. at Hell in a Cell, and since then, we've heard several different reports of, is it something to do with her shoulder or her neck? She has tweeted out that her career is okay. She wrote that her career is just fine on Twitter. But from what I heard from Fightful, they said here that she's set to undergo an evaluation on her shoulder issues November 15th. And the same report also states that Samoa Joe is returning in early December. But, again, that's a grain of salt, fact right there as well. Also, we haven't seen Elias since he injured his ankle. The last time we saw him was September 3rd. Then he had that, odd ankle injury. We weren't sure if it was a break or a sprain. And I guess he's going to be evaluated on November 15th as well, the same day as Alexa Bliss. So hopefully we'll be having Elias return soon and we can walk with him once again.
Walk with Elias's injured ass.
His contract is not set to expire till late 2020 either, so we still have quite a bit of time left with Elias.
Well, Elias, if he's smart, stays in WWE because I don't know. I mean, maybe that gimmick in AEW could work, I guess, but like you want to stay in WWE.
Yeah, he's much better off.
Comes Botch Club.
Party.
What up, Botch Club?
Jake the Snake DeMarco. Joe Cronin. Follow Cronin on Insta. Show the world us.
Show the world us. Botch Club, baby. What up to Botch Club? We're going to show the Botch Club in a few, man. I'm telling you, Instagram, they catch botches that you don't even know about. And then they have retro botches and independent botches and botches from me. So many botches on Botch Club on Instagram. And, of course, WWE then ripped the name Botch Club off of our very own Botch Club friends years ago. So look at that. Go follow them on Instagram. If you have an Instagram account, you should be following all of us if you got an Instagram account. I mean, I'm there. Fucking Jake's there. Botch Club is there. Mine's easy. You just Joe Cronin Show and Botch Club. You just gonna do it. It's really tight. Like, dude, fucking some of that shit cracks me up.
Party.
What's good, Jake the Snake DeMarco? Joe Cronin.
What up, baby? It's Botch Club again. Botch Club is taking the 60-second ad break here. I love it. I love it, baby. Definitely advertise if you are super chatting because this guy's got over 23,000 followers on Instagram, and they are murdering it. One day they had a video that did like 30,000 views and like 12,000 likes. Chris Jericho, Stone Cold, multiple other wrestlers among them that are liking those videos from Botch Club, that are following Botch Club. Imagine that if Jericho and Stone Cold followed something I did. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
So check out our friends.
They've got a lot of interaction with some, very impactful legends.
God, I'm watching Botch Club, and I'm like, what the
Wow, I can't really do Austin right now. I'm all fucked up.
I'm gonna leave this briefcase
here it is.
right
Oh, shit.
Here's the
I'm
bomb.
gonna leave this briefcase right here. I'm gonna leave this briefcase right here.
Give him the double
I'm
stuff.
gonna leave this briefcase right here. I'm gonna leave this briefcase right here. Son, run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fucking fat bitch. Don't you think I'm a fucking terrorist? Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run, yeah, run. See your titties bounce. See your titties bounce. See your titties bounce. The girl next to you don't got no titties, so they won't bounce. Bitch, got big titties.
I don't give a fuck about Vince or WWE anymore.
Oh.
The only time I'm entertained by that company is when you shit all over it. I'm buying what they are selling right now because they'll fuck it up as usual. For life.
For life, baby. The J-Boat. What's up, J-Boat? And I'm sorry that I was so tired. Raw made me so tired the last week or one of these weeks that I couldn't even joke about it. I was just so fucked
it was like
up.
the week before. It was brutal.
Yeah, they murdered me. J-Boat, thanks, man. You are the top donator now, bro. Take home that
He just
title.
stole that title. He cashed in.
From Ryback, too.
Of all people.
J-Boat.
J-Boat dominating, dropping off that terrorist package. I love that donation.
I like that one too, and I totally made it out of nowhere. Like, it was like a couple weeks ago. I was sitting there and there was that beat started playing, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill your mother. And then like I was like, that could be a good beat for a donation. And then I saw that GIF, and I was like, oh my god, that's funny. Like, I was so stupid. Like, where the fuck do these things come from? Like, it's weird.
People still worry about you and the turkeys, so
yeah, they're gonna kill me. The turkeys will kill me. Eventually, you know. I mean, I'm telling you, there's still these pack of turkeys in my neighborhood walking around. But here's the thing, I haven't seen them in about 3 weeks. I haven't seen the pack of turkeys in 3 weeks. I don't know what's going on. I mean, maybe do they hibernate? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
I haven't seen them in quite a bit. In fact, you know what? The last time I saw them, to be honest, I think is the time that I put the video out of pulling up in my house and they were walking by. I think I haven't seen them in a while. And I was going to kill one of them for Thanksgiving.
It says most turkeys die. Apparently, wild turkeys and white-tailed deer prepare for winter by feeding madly throughout the fall. They, some hibernate, but, you usually see them try and escape the harsh winter weather. But apparently most don't survive.
I am so white. I just got to say this. Ever since shaving, I am so fucking white. Like, I am, like, seriously, I know that I'm, like, Norwegian, like, fucking Irish, Scottish. I know that, like, English. I know that, like, I'm, like, full-on, like, European person. And I know there's a light that's reflecting a little bit that's making me seem whiter than I really am. But goddamn do I reflect now. Like, it is really bad. Like, I don't know what's, like, I look like the fucking, necromancer guy from the new Diablo trailer. Like, I just want to fucking put this guy up to give some kind of perspective on this.
It's uncanny. Yeah, they try and migrate, but a lot of them do also hibernate. They either, if they can't store enough food and eat enough, they try and migrate, but a good majority of them just die.
That's what I would think, that they would be hibernating. Let me
look at Ed's view, calling you a Casper-looking mofo.
I'm a Casper. Look at this guy. I'm this fucking guy. Let me just...
It's uncanny, the resemblance.
It's very strange. I'm like so fucking white.
That trailer is so good.
Dude, black people pass me on the streets and they go, fucking ghost! No, it's crazy. It's fucking, I'm really white. Like, I'm super white. Like I'm like the opposite of Wesley Snipes. Like whatever kind of black he is, I'm like the opposite of that and white.
You're the
but not
negative.
Almost, because I guess there's albino, so that would be like really fucking white. So like, okay, maybe not that white, but I'm really close. Like maybe I'm not Wesley Snipes. Maybe I'm more like, but I'm not like Wayne's brothers. Like crispy. I'm like fucking I'm like almost mayonnaise. Like, exactly. It's very strange. I'm almost Casper.
Tiffany says you're your own nightlight, so I guess that works.
Like, you could put a sheet on me, and I would be a ghost. Like, if you cut the head part, so I could put it down, so I could be.
I've got this, Saudi salt and pepper beard that desperately needs to be shaved, but
especially with the round face. The round face really helps that too. With like
now you're creeping people out. They're gonna start grabbing their crucifixes.
Yeah, I'm almost Sheamus, man. I'm like, look at this. Like, are you seeing this shit? Like, look at this fucking...
Heritage is popping out.
Look at this. What is happening here? I'm definitely from, like, the first people that left Africa. You know what I mean? Because, like, the people we're said to all have left the Middle East area or Africa, that area, and ventured out, and that's when everybody changed or whatever. Who the fuck knows what's real and right anyway? But, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, this is definitely some fucking...
Yeah, your pigmentation couldn't take it.
Yeah, this is some, like if I am in the sun the wrong way, I'm getting cancer. Like, I'm just getting cancer. Like, I'll be going to the store, and, like, my body's probably like, fuck! Like, it's just fucking with me so bad, dude.
I am you again.
Super fucked. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Shirt just to hide it.
It's like I walk, hey! I walk outside, and people see how white I am! It's fucking weird, dude. I don't know.
You got it easy. I wore a red shirt outside. People thought the sun was falling.
I probably need sun. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. What the fuck? See, you got that, and I know you're in a house right now with the cameras set differently. You don't have a bright white light on you.
Yeah, I don't have a set background that makes it really, the contrast isn't as extreme. But I'm pretty pasty too.
We give you an axe and a shield, and you look like one of those LARPing motherfuckers.
That's right.
I will say that.
Pulling those, Nerf swords out and tackling down the world.
God, that's the worst. It's cool when they're like legit have real weapons. Like that's pretty cool. But like when they're like
the people that want to go and do the full reenactment, all out.
You know what I want to do?
That's fine.
I want to show up with a real sword and just start hacking people. Like and like they're like, oh my god, like they don't know what's going on.
'Tis thy day of death.
Imagine that, like at the LARPing show. Like today, 17 LARPers were murdered today.
Brutally.
And then like they're like
brutally
interviewing
massacred is one.
They're interviewing the people. They're like, so when did you know something was wrong? When did you realize this wasn't part of the event and whatever? And some dorky guy's like, well, the first thing I noticed was he was brandishing a katana blade from ancient Japanese katana, or like a modern katana blade, which wasn't at all in the time of King Arthur or like the like it's like
I thought it was a squib, but that blood pack, the blood was just spraying too far out of the artery to be fake. So
oh, it was horrible. And then I even got some blood on my sash here. Oh my god!
This is great.
Police were already at the scene as they were helping, like with concessions, like whatever the fuck. I don't know. 17 LARPers are dead.
Yeah,
but it would be funny to see the guy get shot at the end while he's wielding this fucking katana blade, like
acting like Neo from if he can't stop bullets.
If he had been using a sword, that correlated with the times of the LARP, it wouldn't have. We may not have noticed so quickly that it was real, but the fact that he was wielding this Japanese katana blade, or fucking not katana blade, but whatever. Anyway, it's what the fuck are we talking about? Get us back to wrestling, please. Like, help me.
Velveteen Dream is also still injured, Joe. We're going from other end of the spectrum there. Poor Dream. Originally I was a bit harsh on his exit. If you recall, I wasn't too happy with the way they took him out. It was kind of anticlimactic with this, they're going to throw over the USB drive to commentary, and Undisputed Era just kind of had him laid out. But it was that just it was a bit of a dopey thing they had going on, and I can't help but agree with that. Roderick Strong's got a small junk, and that was pretty much all that they were having him say at that point in time. So. Wasn't the matches were very good, but the storyline wasn't anything fantastic, and unfortunately, people thought it was a work for a while, and that he would be announced for the War Games match. Not the case, though. Meltzer is saying that he is still hurt and isn't expected to return in time for Survivor Series.
God damn.
Which now would have been the perfect time for him to be there.
Yeah.
With everything going on, that level of viewership for NXT, really, I think he would have sparked some good flames and interest. So that's definitely upsetting. It's just kind of building up here where they have so many injuries and people out. And another one is that we got a little more than expected, but then again, maybe not, with Cain Velasquez. We knew that they really tried to limit what would happen in the Crown Jewel match against Brock Lesnar because of his knee being injured. And we did announce, though, back in October on this show, that Rey Mysterio would team up with Cain Velasquez, and they would go ahead and face Drew McIntyre and Andrade at the WWE Super Show in Mexico City, Mexico. But now I guess there's a new card for the Super Show, and Cain is no longer listed for the match.
Huh. Yeah, we heard about he's been pulled out of a lot of things.
Yeah,
he's not pulled out of the big event.
He's still scheduled to appear, but not in a wrestling form.
Oh, okay. Well, he's in New York on November 16th for the big event.
So I don't know what they're doing with him, and a lot of people seem to think it's not confirmed, but Cain's knee is the reason for the change in Mexico City. Makes sense, that's for sure.
That'd be so weird to see him there. Like, that is so wild. And he's the mayor of like a fucking state or whatever.
They also changed the
town.
match on the card as well. Originally, it was supposed to be Bray Wyatt facing Seth Rollins in a steel cage match. But now that Wyatt has the title, he'll be defending against The Miz in a steel cage. So that's interesting. It's somebody different.
Yeah.
I'm tired of him and Seth. We're not sure where they're going with The Fiend for Survivor Series. And that's one of the main issues going on here at this point in time. At least to me, you know, hopefully we'll get more answers tomorrow night with the taped SmackDown episode. But
see, if they were smart, Jake, not to interrupt, but if they, but if they were smart, you know, this guy would be like have the Fireflies or something, and it would be a 4-on-4 match with somebody else who thought they could beat Bray Wyatt's team.
Yeah.
Like that'd be perfect for this. Like and especially if he didn't have the title, if he didn't have the belt, and like he never even had the matches with Seth at all. Like, it would be perfect that he could do something like that. But, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of what-ifs in that scenario. And unfortunately, that's how I feel.
Who should he be facing? I mean, who the hell is he going to face?
Well, that's the problem here, because the way everything else has been booked, champion versus champion versus champion for all the shows, we got, you know, the 3 teams for the tag teams facing off in a triple threat. We have the women's champions, all of them facing off in a triple threat. It's also being speculated that we'll have the U.S. title, maybe, with AJ taking on Nakamura, taking on Roderick Strong, so that's another possibility. But Brock Lesnar has been taken out of that scenario because they didn't want Brock and The Fiend, even if Adam Cole is in the match, to face each other, especially not at this point in time. They felt there was no way to make it work. Even if, you know, they had the third person get pinned, that it would still be an issue. And I can't help but agree, really. You know, they've booked themselves into a corner. So if you're getting The Fiend and Brock, they're not going to have Brock lose, but they really can't have The Fiend lose again. So what do you do? And to have that end in a no contest, fans are really going to be upset. So they're just keeping them apart. So now you have Brock Lesnar taking on Rey Mysterio for the WWE Championship, and no set announced match for The Fiend. A lot of people believe that we're going to end up seeing The Fiend take on the Demon Finn Balor.
Jesus, already?
That's what has been kind of, you know, going around currently. I'm not sold on that idea.
Somebody in the chat just had a good idea.
But they said, you know, most of the speculation comes down to the fact of people saying that the confrontation is bound to happen at some point in time, which I agree it will. And they feel that the crowd in Manchester might be in for quite a treat Friday, because after squashing the hopes of seeing Brock Lesnar versus The Fiend, it's only fair the company gives another dream match scenario. And since he has no opponent and they're trying to do this whole, you know, roster versus roster gimmick for Survivor Series, it would be NXT versus SmackDown, since Raw is already occupied. So I get the idea and, you know, the semblance of an idea anyways behind what they're going for. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't see that coming to fruition there.
Well, what I think is somebody said Daniel Bryan. Keith in the chat said Daniel Bryan. I think that'd be good for Bray Wyatt to face Daniel Bryan, and Bryan, you know, I mean, Bryan would obviously put over Bray Wyatt, but
yeah, a lot of great history there. We know they can have great matches together.
Yeah. That Royal Rumble match is still it was a great opening match to that event. I still remember it now.
Yeah,
it was a good opening
match.
Out. Yeah, that'd be really nice to see that. I'd be down with that.
Their cage match as well. I mean, they've had you know, quite a few meetings since then, and it just certainly stands out to see them, you know, work together again. And now that Daniel's in this heel kind of gimmick once again, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Even if they do go with The Miz and it's a short feud, I wouldn't complain either.
Right.
The Miz, you know, is a pretty good worker overall, and I think that they could, you know, get a really good match from those two. So whatever it is, it's going to be short term till Survivor Series is done with. That I've heard indefinitely. So another little bit going around is that, surprisingly enough, people are saying that Kofi Kingston would be the one to turn heel.
I mean, it would be really shocking for that to happen.
I think that's what they're going for. So, especially with Xavier Woods being injured, everybody is so focused on Big E being the one to turn heel that if they were to go ahead and have Kofi flip it would be, unexpected.
You know what they should have done was they should have had it played it off like Xavier Woods was okay, and then 2 weeks later flipped somebody heel and attacked, Xavier's leg or whatever. But that's I'm trying to take calls again. It's not adding calls to Skype, so sorry guys. Unknown calls mostly though is I don't know if it works on other calls, but already unknown callers aren't working.
I wonder if they're coming out with another update for Skype soon.
There's got to be an update or something's wrong or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Tom Collihu said here that, this is going to be a long, slow, magnificent piece of storytelling, referring to Kofi. He said, keep your eyes peeled for more small signs of Kofi's impending breakdown. Kofi hasn't been at ease with himself since losing to Brock Lesnar so easily and has threatened to snap several times. So they're saying that they're going to try and really build slowly to him switching.
That's so
weird.
And
another thing we might see on SmackDown is a Raw invasion because they're in the same area at the same time, obviously, with the overseas tour. And they're already filming the show right after, so all superstars are on deck. That we'll see a Raw invasion during the main event, which is supposed to be Roman Reigns taking on King Corbin.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's not exciting, but
I don't care about that shit.
That's what it is.
Dude,
at least we will see The Fiend for the first time with his new belt. That belt that everyone shared on Twitter, that we've seen even Bray holding well over a year ago, is not what they showed on the WWE backstage this past week.
That's not what he has. It's not the belt.
Yeah, that's not it. All it is
people just made that up. They just were like, we want it to be this.
They had the belt made by some custom belt maker, and I believe it was presented to Bray. I'm pretty sure he owns it, but that one being shown with the really crazy bat inlays and the more warped red color, and it's beautiful, and it would be great for him to have a true custom championship, similar to what Daniel Bryan had. But unfortunately, it looks like it's the same belt, Velcro and all, just with the side plates changed out. That's what they showed off on backstage this past week.
Oh God!
Yeah, so that is unfortunate.
I don't know. The belt looks so cool, man. So many people were disappointed by it. You know what I mean? Like you said, it was leather. People really wanted this cool belt. I mean, does it really matter what the goddamn belt looks like at this point? I mean, it's still this piece of garbage that it is. I just don't. I'm already past the point of caring about what that belt looks like. I think the belt sucks. I think the Universal title itself, the whole thing is a piece of shit. So, where's the Intercontinental belts and shit? Give me, they need to get rid of belts. Get rid of that goddamn belt already. Let me play a couple more of these donations here. We got to see what people are saying. Sorry to Tommy if he's listening. I don't know what happened, man.
Here we go.
I don't get it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Tommy wants Nyla Rose to stick his man meat in him.
Oh, man. That is not right. Nick Wolf. Thank you, Nick Wolf, for the $5. What's been up, Nick? How you doing, man? Yeah, imagine Nyla Rose just sitting on him, or anybody for that matter. Nia Jax. Nia Jax could do it. J-Boat has the top spot with 1984 right now for that digital championship tonight, baby. Nick Wolf, thank you, man.
I agree with Matt, the Misfit, what he had said, that it would be great for at this time to have the Undertaker and Bray face off. The way he explained the build to it, it would be pretty special for Survivor Series. Yeah. So much history with Taker and Survivor Series, so I think it would work.
The turkeys will eat us. Turkey, protect your ovens.
Always Nerdy TV. Good to hear from you, man. What's been up? Yeah, I like... I'd be down for that just because I'm so bored of Survivor Series. I need something.
Cocksucker, suck the cock. I'm allowed to talk forever. I got a fucking dick. I'm not allowed to talk as long as everybody else. Fuck you, fucking cocksucker. Suck your own dick tonight. Dick.
Slob, slob, slob. 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 Slob, slobby, slob. Tommy is a slob, slobby, knock a slob. Slibby slob. I'm gonna slob on your knob, Tommy. You got a knobby slob, you slobby knob. Fuck Debay.
Oh, what the fuck, dude? The way you read
it over here.
Slobby, lobby, gobby, slobber, knocker, slobber. You gob, slob, slob. What in the fuck was that? DJ Scandalous in the chat again. What up, DJ Scandalous? Get rid of the Universal title for the big gold, or promote the IC to Intercontinental Heavyweight title. Something like that. I'd be down with something like that, man. I agree.
Get rid of some belts.
Get rid of this belt. You've already got the IC belt, man. Come on. Primitive Lifeways. Thank you for subscribing. What's up, man? What's up to all the new subs?
Matt's right, though. Why would Bray or The Fiend care about Survivor Series?
Hi, Mr. Cronin. This is Ms. Fenton on Tommy's channel typing for my sweet cupcake. Daniel, you really should be nice to my baby boy. He got so upset he almost threw away his My Little Pony panties.
Oh.
He also refused to go to Golden Corral, which he never does.
Well, that is...
Oh, wow.
I really am sorry to hear that. I did not know I affected him that badly. Mrs. Fenton, I apologize. That is terrible of me. I really am sorry. Tell Tommy I said I'm sorry. I love him, Slob. I love him so much, and I appreciate that. Thank you for becoming a $5 shit bum. Tommy's mom. Which one was it, though? Which mother?
Bailey's Sisters Melons to AEW. Confirmed.
Bailey's Sisters Melons. Imagine that. Bailey's sister is hottie. Man,
That would be something.
That women's division over at AEW needs help, so I think they'd take her. I think they might take anybody at this point to figure out something over there at that women's division. That women's division has not been clicking. It is a goddamn fucking circus over at AEW as far as the women's division is going. It is a mess.
Yeah, we'll get into that shortly. I have some...
That is ugly stuff. We're almost there. What is Spaz Phoenix? Yeah, let's let a couple more of these hit, and then we'll get into our predictions for Full Gear. It's almost time, baby. Super chat party from the Bucks. Thunder Rosa. I love Thunder Rosa.
Cocksucker, suck the cock. I'm allowed to talk
Oh,
forever.
no, not
I got
again.
a fucking dick. I'm not allowed to talk as long as everybody else. Fuck you, fucking cocksucker. Suck your own dick tonight. Dick.
Jesus.
Make Joe Cronin show great again.
Trump, thank you, Trump. We definitely need to help this show. There's no doubt about it. We need to fix some things. We definitely have problems, but Trump, I appreciate that. I hope you can fix it for us. You'd probably fire me, is what would happen. And then, like, it wouldn't even be this anymore. It would just be him. $7 donation. I haven't heard that in a while, so I'm going to play this.
I'm just a sexy transvestite from sexual Transylvania.
I was sitting down, touching myself.
Oh, okay. Take it easy. Come on. Take it easy, bro.
It is fucking
How do you guys feel about all these wrestlers, especially the older ones, getting injured and being sidelined over storylines that no one gives a fuck about? Legends like wasting their last few years away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I storyline. What is he talking about? Is he talking about Ray? Big Fuego Jacob, thank you. Do you know who he's talking about, Jake? I don't.
Not specifically, but...
I mean, storylines with wrestlers who are injured.
Trump versus Rollins for the Twitter championship.
Somebody explain that one to me. I might be lost or missing something. But Big Fuego Jacob, good to hear from you, Jacob. What up, Fuego? Set that fire, baby. Trump versus Rollins for the Twitter championship. Yeah, I still don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, to feel about the wrestlers, especially the older ones, getting injured and being sidelined over storylines. Basically, how I take that is, you have these wrestlers getting injured over bullshit, over stuff that, is just nonsense. They're going out there and involved in these awful, awful storylines. And, they're basically getting put through, the ringer for nothingness. Stuff that is just very inconsequential and stuff that the fans absolutely do not care for. So... I mean, look at everything that's going on right now with Rusev and Bobby Lashley. You had so many people being outspoken about just ending that feud entirely.
You look like a mixture of Sheamus and Tommy NC.
Yeah, I think I am. Sanderson Vivo, thank you for the $2.
Corey Graves came out and said that feud needs to be done with.
Well, wait a minute. Brandon Crockett, thanks for subbing to the channel. Did Corey Graves finally get a little bit real on his podcast that is supposedly supposed to be
a little bit? I mean, yeah, he went ahead and I'm trying to pull up the direct quote here. Let me see if I can find it really quick, but
all right, dude. I act like this because people like you won't shut the fuck up, you idiot fucking the chat fence rider. You fucking idiot. The guy mentioned me first, you fucking numbskull idiot, and I responded to it. So when you do this, I'm assuming you're a troll and you're going to get blocked, so you're dumb. I mean, like, really, dude, you're going to ask that the whole show? That's what you want? You're here for the drama. I appreciate
over and over again.
I appreciate that you're here for the drama, bro.
Nice to see Jake
Welcome.
looking well. Love to you both.
Lydia Taylor, thanks for the 5.
Much love, Lydia.
Well, now you know why I bring up the drama, baby, because you love it. That's why, and I'm going to keep bringing it up too. And it's going to get really good. You're going to love it. You're going to be blocked, so you won't be in the chat, but you're going to love it. It's not done yet. There's going to be a whole lot more of it. Joe Cronin brings the fun and the entertainment, and I will bring the realness, and you'll get more of it, baby. You'll get a whole lot more of it. So stick around and enjoy, because it's going to get real fun, especially this week, baby. Tonight it's going to get fun. I'm tasting JD's little midget tears right now, motherfucker. I'm tasting his midget little fucking tears now as his fucking cat falls down a flight of stairs. Tastes good to me, baby. Tastes good. There'll be more of it, baby. Oh, he's talking about Dustin Rhodes. AEW is doing a storyline where Dustin got his arm broken.
That doesn't bother me.
No, because I mean he doesn't want to wrestle a ton anyway. I think
he wanted to have more of a limited schedule and be used and utilized when it was truly necessary, which I think they've done a great job of so far. They made him into a star all over again.
He agreed to this. He obviously was like, yeah, like we'll do it for like a month. If he wanted to wrestle really badly and was like, I don't want to be wasted, he would say that. He'd be like, no, I want to be on TV and do other things. Like I don't want to be out that long.
See, that comment, I looked more at someone like Drew McIntyre who gets injured wrestling as Bobby Lashley's enforcer. That's a waste.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre's a fucking waste.
That's so, just painfully egregious, so unnecessary for him to be out there doing the same match over and over again and then gets injured and laid off for months and months at a time, and now we don't get to see him, and when he comes back, he's stuck doing the same thing again. That's so sinful.
Here he is again, the dumb bodyguard guy.
Yep, and speaking of, so he got a little bit more uncouth, straight up on the After the Bell podcast. Corey Graves said...
Good, because he was a pussy the last time.
Yeah, he really, left a lot to be desired there. And he said something that I don't think you will enjoy, because God knows I haven't, is this endless soap opera between Rusev and Lana and Lashley. He said, my God, let it end. Let the suffering stop. I don't feel bad for Rusev. I think Rusev looks ridiculous. And he added that Rusev and Lashley are both talented superstars. They can have an awesome match without telling an outrageous storyline. And he's exactly right. Why couldn't we just have them fight versus this whole, wife swap nonsense? He said it's like somebody who has never been in a relationship writing their idea of what some sort of romance scandal would be. It's very strange, and it's very strange for me to get into it. Definitely a low point of this week's Raw for me. It's not in my sandbox. I agree with him entirely. And even stranger than that is that they're having Lana and Lashley travel together to keep up appearances. So they say fuck kayfabe so many times in very important main event level storylines.
Right.
When the WWE Championship is being defended, you got Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman hugging each other in front of a monument. That's okay, even though they're going to do war the next night on a pay-per-view. But you're going to force... husband and wife to split up so that their storyline can be, have some semblance of truth to it. So now you have Lana saying, we are the best. Bobby Lashley's, is my true love. And you see them traveling together all the time, but WWE is actually having them travel together.
I think Vince wants Bobby to really bang bang Lana.
I guess so. I guess this is going to go ahead and turn into a, Edge and Lita situation that they're hoping for. But here's the thing. it hit 19 million views on YouTube 9 hours after it was posted. That's that segment where Rusev was left crushed and Lana was making out with Bobby Lashley on top of him when he took off the ring and all that stuff. You know, it had a shit ton of views. So
yeah.
I don't know. Now the full segment itself has 8 million views, but the highlight from it had 19 million views on YouTube. That's ridiculous.
I mean, young boys were whacking it to it or something. I mean, it's weird.
I really don't know, but of all things to go semi-viral, that's very, very odd.
That is weird. Maybe they put Rusev in the storyline to give him more TV time. I think they did this to piss off Lana and Rusev almost. Like, remember they were complaining for a long time? Maybe they were like, yeah, you want a story? Here's one. Black guy takes your wife, Bulgarian boy.
Yeah, because they were so outspoken on social media with not being used and not being on TV, and oh yeah, well here you go. We're gonna have you two say that you cheated on each other.
I mean, you're
a sex addict, and
you know what's funny is this is better than the Mike and Maria stuff, but it's awful still. Yeah. Like that's what's funny.
That's sad.
Like yeah, like it's like you're like God, it's better than the Mike and Maria stuff. But it's
There's
still
another
horrible.
Couple that was very outspoken on social media, and look at the angle they received. So
yes, so it's like what
you're better off not saying anything.
What is this shit?
They also gave up apparently on Shorty G as well.
Already.
Apparently feelings in the back have changed. They still view him as a spectacular wrestler, but they're giving up on his character from what was said here.
Well, good, because he looks like a fucking idiot.
You know, him losing to Baron Corbin, and then they said that, you know, really if they wanted to, they should have just had him win King of the Ring. But even then, they felt it was a null decision because his character didn't cut out as well. And I believe that he started to get over with the crowd, and they gave him a somewhat sustained push for a couple of weeks, and now it's just disappeared entirely.
All right, well, let's get into AEW Full Gear because fuck all this.
Yeah, well,
this news really is horrible.
To my, I'm kind of threading everything together as much as possible. So when we had brought up before that you mentioned, people either trying to be stuck in WWE, indefinitely because if they get injured, their contracts don't, go over, or if they even try and use AEW as a threat against the company, it's working. Mm-hmm. So Chris Jericho said he was talking to, who was he? I think he was just speaking on his podcast. I want to double check this.
Might have been.
But he went ahead and he was saying how I can't say anything about it because I don't know specifics. No one's calling me to tell me these things, but I know this. Nobody is getting out of WWE, especially Randy Orton, because unless he's very, very committed to saying, I don't care if you pay me $20 gazillion, as in Dean Ambrose, I'm leaving, that's not what he's doing. I mean, obviously Vince is going to pay millions and millions of dollars to not have Randy Orton go. And he said, if you're using AEW to make more money off of Vince, go for it. That's great too. But it's not like we're taking everybody that's going to leave WWE either. Because those guys that are working WWE now, they're getting huge raises because of this situation with AEW.
Right.
He says if they were on the indie circuit, they would be making less than $500 a night.
Right.
So, I mean, it certainly is, a
and
smart point.
A lot of them, it's not even because people aren't really worth it. It's kind of just because they don't have, the indie guys don't have that much money to pay people that much.
That's the thing. There's just not enough in the budget, one. And even if you have all the interest in the world, there's only so much that they can pay these people. And then two, on top of it, even if they are a huge, star, doesn't mean they're going to fit in the AEW environment. It may not be someone that would work well. So that's also another consideration. Even if they want to leave, Luke Harper is an amazing talent, but I don't know if he'd fit. And, they'd have to really repackage him and find a way to make that work. You know who I was thinking about the other day was Damian Sandow. And how everyone said, oh, he was this great talent and so underutilized, and it was a shame that WWE never pulled the trigger with him. And then he went to Impact with all the thunder in the world behind him, this Aaron Rex character, and he just fell flat. So that's the other side of the coin here. The AEW could try and pick these guys up, repackage them, and
look at him in NWA.
So
Look at him in NWA right now. In fact, I think he's 0 for 2 right now on Power.
So
he's okay.
It's okay. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it didn't pay off for Impact to pay him a ton of money to bring him in.
No, not for Impact. No, yeah, you're right. No, that comparison you made I made it completely. I just said he's in NWA now, but you're right. Yeah, bringing him to Impact for that money. Yeah, it was
so
like
if they do get people that leave WWE, their contract ends, they spend all this money. It still may not be worth it. Marty Scurll's contract ends any time now. It ends in November. We know that. Any day it's over with. And we're not sure, what's going to happen. I more than likely imagine
I think
to AEW.
Jake Hager's like that. Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
I don't think he exactly sells any tickets at all. I think it's just like cool, that guy's over there. That's cool. It's like it's more fluff for the people that are already watching. Like, oh, that's Jack Swagger's here. That's crazy, I guess. But it's not a channel changer. It's not like where's their channel? I have to see this. That'd be CM Punk or somebody like that.
Exactly. Initially,
where is it?
The crowd had fun chanting "We the People," and Jericho shut it down, which was an intelligent move to do. You don't want to bring forth old, bad creative, as he said. But the reason I bring up Marty is because he's one that's speculated as being one of the guest judges for this weekend.
Right.
Other people, as we said, being announced is Diamond Dallas Page, former WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts.
That would be awesome. I'd take Jake.
Somebody also said Bret Hart.
That'd be cool. Jake, imagine Jake and Bret. I want to see Jake and Bret together. That'd be really cool.
Could you imagine, DDP, Jake, and Bret?
Wow, that would be so cool. Like I know that people that I'd be marking out for that. I know people love Arn and Tully and those guys, and I do too. But I grew up more with Bret and Jake and them, so that'd be really cool. I'd love to see that.
And speaking of Jake Hager, he unfortunately had to wait to really get a match in the ring until everything cleared with Bellator. He couldn't compete because he didn't want to risk injury. So with his, third fight done and over with now, he's free to compete for AEW. And a lot of people tend to think that we're going to see something happen with him at Full Gear. It's more than likely he'll just be involved with the Inner Circle, but a lot of people are speculating that he might have a match that happens that night. I imagine that they're going to try and really build towards his match. Yeah. I don't think that it would be something announced night of.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Hager, they're going to try and build him up, more than just saying, we also added.
I figured eventually. I thought Wardlow and him would have a
That's where I was going with it.
But now I'm starting to think. I almost wonder if AEW is going to bring in Wardlow, kind of like in a WWE style of things, and have him squash people for weeks first. I think they might do that. I know that sounds weird.
Wouldn't be a bad way, initially for him to be, be recognized and kind of build up some, recognition with him. So, more news for Full Gear, obviously, is I hate even bringing this up, but CM Punk once again, he's not going to appear.
Fuck you.
Punk recently said during interviews for his movie there. He was also on Barstool Sports, My Mom's Basement podcast, and he said outright that he never heard anything back from Fox regarding his tryout. He said, I did the Fox thing. They asked me to come out. I was already in LA, so I went to the Fox studios. I guess you can call it an audition. I haven't heard a thing. And then he complimented Renee Young and Booker T, but that was it. So
yeah,
I think it's 0% chance of him having anything to do with Full Gear.
Yeah, he wants too much money. He clearly CM Punk wants too much money for WWE, let alone AEW.
Yeah, he said that outright when he did the the WrestleFest over the summer there. What is it? Starcast.
Yeah.
He said he wanted a big bag. So
I'd like to see CM Punk in a car crash.
He's in that position though. He doesn't want to come back, so unless they're going to offer him this mass amount of money where it's not him having to travel to Saudi, why would he do it? So
right.
And then, as we said, we'll see what else happens there. But I mean, just stating the obvious, obviously. But to me, I'm very, very curious as to who's going to go ahead and be the guest judges for this AEW championship fight between Cody and Jericho.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested in it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Marty Scurll, though, with his contract ending, I'm curious to see maybe he could, debut at the pay-per-view. That would certainly be a huge get for the company. There's a lot of interest in him. But as far as the pay-per-view itself goes, I'm a bit confused when you run through the card that they didn't, at least, I don't want to say advertise, but build more with the Britt Baker Bea Priestley match. I was really expecting them to have more story there between these two.
Is that an exhibition match?
They are on the official card, so.
I mean, for what? What? Like, there's no.
It just kind of feels out of left field in a sense.
Yeah, they really should have built that because they had plenty of time to.
Yeah, they had more than enough time, and especially when Britt Baker had her homecoming, and I don't know, it just feels lacking. And again, that's the main negative bit of criticism I have for AEW.
Well, give me the list. Give me the lineup of the matches. Let's go through these matches here.
So we have Shawn Spears against Joey Janela. Obviously, last week on Dark, we saw Shawn Spears attack Janela. Janela came to the rescue this week. With these two, I'm expecting a great match.
Joey, baby.
I think that Shawn Spears is going to win here to continue the feud.
Maybe. Oh, Joey versus Shawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would pick. Shawn Spears needs some kind of win. I mean, that's the thing.
Really he's lost so many times over. Joey can kind of get by if he loses, just with how crazy and hardcore his antics are. He's still, pretty white hot with the crowd. The reception he got just for running out quickly for the save on Dynamite was pretty crazy. So, he's building more with the crowd. I think that Shawn absolutely needs a victory here. He's I believe 0-3 at this point, or maybe one. No, he won on Dynamite, so 1-3, maybe 1-4. I know I think that was his only win. So
yeah, he needs to come back. It's like he died, man. It's like he doesn't exist after the Cody match.
Unfortunately, he came in, again, with all this heat, with the chair shot from hell, busting open Cody and all the drama that surrounded that. So I think Spears wins here, and this continues the feud between these two.
I mean, this is really the tale of two people who don't win. I mean, Joey Janela loses a lot. Shawn Spears loses a lot. So this is one of those matchups that it's kind of weird, I mean, it's whoever loses is at the bottom of the barrel here, I feel like.
Yeah, it seems like the chat is kind of thinking Janela might win, but
I mean, honestly, I think Janela they need to work on building him. So I think maybe Shawn Spears doesn't need the win, so who knows? So this is the first match. You know what? I am going to pick. Well, no, I'm going to pick Shawn Spears still. I mean, I love Joey now. I mean, we're all pals, but I always liked his wrestling. So I'm gonna pick Shawn Spears, man. I'm going to. I don't know though. I feel like they're building. You know what? I'm gonna pick Joey Janela because I think they need to build up the face. I think Shawn Spears can lose, and it doesn't matter. It would be kind of an upset, I think, for Janela to win. I think it's gonna be an upset by Janela.
All right, I'm gonna stick with Spears, obviously, but I think no matter what, we're gonna get a hell of a match between these two. So
right. Oh, I don't know if we'll get a hell of a match, but I think I actually think their chemistry. I know this is weird, but I don't know if their chemistry is going to be very good. I think it will just kind of be a match you won't remember, but it will be a win by Janela, surprisingly.
Next up, actually, the real first match, I think that's going to be the one to open the show, but the first match, which is on the pre-show there, the buy-in that they have, is the Britt Baker Bea Priestley match.
Oh, so it's free?
So that's on their kickoff show. Yes, it's going to be free.
Oh, okay, well, whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I think Britt Baker is going to win this one. Kind of seems.
Yeah.
She's been white hot, and they're going to keep pushing her.
Yeah,
at this point in time.
They need someone to start catching fire here or do something. Their women's division is a mess. That was the weirdest.
They need to have a standout, figure and role model for their women's division. And I think the best they have right now is Britt Baker.
That match for the women's title with Rio and what's her name? Nyla Rose.
Yeah.
That was such a weird decision. I felt when those two women were wrestling, I was like, they're the ones wrestling for the women's championship. It just felt weird. Like
it did feel weird, and
it's never been
unfortunately,
right.
people were against Nyla Rose for kind of the obvious, unfortunately. And Riho, again, the language barrier is kind of hard to overcome, so you don't get much character from her.
Well,
so it was.
I don't know. Like I understand. Like she's like always kind of an underdog. She's little. She's cute. Like there's all these little likable things about her that I think make her work. I just don't think that that's what you lead with as the world champion. Like she's a good underdog story to eventually maybe win a title from somebody
down the road, but it has to be built heavily and properly.
Exactly. Having her win the way she did or whatever is just, I don't know why. It just doesn't, it didn't work out.
It wasn't captivating. It wasn't interesting, unfortunately.
Yeah, they tried, and it might have been if she had beaten, so imagine if Nyla Rose had been the champion for months instead, and Rio, got an opportunity to face her, and maybe she even lost one time, but then she finally beats her. Like that would be the story that would be like, oh wow. But yeah, I mean I don't blame them. They tried something, it just didn't work. To me, maybe they think it worked. I don't know, but to me it didn't work, and to a lot of other people it didn't seem to work. And based on what we're looking at here, it doesn't seem to have worked. But maybe they think it is working, and I have no idea. I don't know how they could think that it's working.
Give it a hell yeah! Just thinking about the main event on Saturday, wouldn't it solidify MJF as a monster heel if he costs Cody the title?
Yeah, and one of the things I'm getting sick of, though, is like every time there's a match, MJF's going to turn on Cody. MJF's going to turn on Cody. MJF's going to turn on Cody. It's like every time, so we're never going to hear the end of that until it happens, which is, okay, I guess, but I love Cox. Thank you for the 316, baby. I love Cox. All right, what else we got, Jake?
Next up, we have the Young Bucks taking on Santana and Ortiz.
They built this up a little bit here at the end. I mean, they've always been in rivaling, so it makes sense, with the groups or whatever. But they attacked Ricky Morton, and I'm going to go Young Bucks with this one, obviously.
The Young Bucks are 3-2 currently. So Santana and Ortiz are undefeated with 1 win.
Yeah.
I think the heels are going to take. I think Ortiz and Santana are going to win this one. And I think we might see some type of outside assistance from Hager or Sammy Guevara.
I could see Hager being outside the ring.
I think what they really want to lead to is a heel-heavy victory through this night, so that it leads into them doing that either like a form of War Games or the Elite versus the Inner Circle. I think that's what they're going for.
Right, the next time, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it's sold in my mind, but we'll see.
Okay. If things make sense, that would make sense.
I'm going to go with the heels on this outing.
Okay.
But I could see it going either which way. I mean, that's the thing for a lot of these. I really could see
Well, if
it.
things make sense with what you're saying, then they would definitely do that, which they could be doing. So.
Next up, we have Pac, who's 3-0. Pac, he's currently undefeated on TV and in pay-per-view. He's taking on Hangman Adam Page, who is current standings are 3 wins, 2 losses. He's on a 1-win streak currently. I think Pac is going to remain undefeated here.
Who's he facing again?
Adam Page, Hangman Page. I think they want to keep Pac strong to be the next challenger for the title.
Yeah.
Or at least build him to be a future contender for the title. He's already 3-0. I think that's kind of, it seems like they're going to keep him, protected.
This one is tough because if they want to get Hangman going, he's got to get a win. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'd go with Pac as well. I believe. Ryback, get out of the chat. Are you kidding me, Ryback? Are you really here right now? Fuck.
Super chat party.
Unbelievable.
Ryback, get out the chat.
Get out of the chat, Ryback. God damn it. God
He must be
damn it.
looking for chicken sandwiches.
Finish it.
I bet you Ryback was the one that stabbed that guy,
Yeah.
over a chicken sandwich.
There's been a lot of murdering and fighting going on. And not even over the sandwich, just at that place in general.
Yeah.
Something about Popeyes right now. People are just killing each other. Like, they smell... There's some ingredient in the sandwich. You smell it and you want to knife a motherfucker. Very strange. But, so I'm going Pac as well.
Pac? Yeah,
And,
I always want to call him Pac.
what's-
It's just, you think of X-Pac. It
what's
just stays
his-
in my mind.
Hangman Page to me is Seth Rollins. Like, you wouldn't believe. I don't know. To me, whenever Hangman Page reminds me of Seth Rollins so much, it's unbelievable.
I could see that correlation.
Oh,
The
yeah.
chat so far seems to be siding with Pac winning. So Why Hate says 100% Pac.
Yeah, definitely
Ben
Pac.
Bugaloo says cowboy shit makes me sad. So
Yeah, let's do some cowboy shit is pretty cool, but that guy in real, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, that guy rubs me the weird way too, and I don't know.
following that, we have the AEW Women's Championship match. Riho taking on Emi Sakura.
Rio versus Amy Sakura for the title?
Sakura.
Sakura.
Stands at 1-0 at this point in time. And Riho is, where is she on this list? She is 4-0.
Jesus.
Currently undefeated with 4 wins with her women's championship. I think that she's going to retain here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rio retaining, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be straightforward. I don't expect much
Amy's
from this
there
match,
to give
sadly.
her. Amy's there because she knows her really well, so they know that she could probably give her one of the best matches right now. That's why Amy's facing her.
Yeah, that seems to make the most sense, but they certainly need to change things going forward,
Yeah,
I feel.
this is a mess. The women's launch is a mess.
Next up, we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The tag titles held by SoCal Uncensored SCU being defended for the first time. They're going against Private Party and the Lucha Brothers in a triple threat match. So Private Party with a record of 3-2, the Lucha Brothers with a record of 4-2, SCU with a record of 4-1. So currently, I think SCU retains here. It's their first defense.
Right.
I can't imagine them losing the belt this quickly.
Why would you? You would have just given the belts to the other team already, and Private Party's probably there to take the pin, to be honest.
That's, what it seems like. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, but also to make the match awesome, too. I mean, because they're going to...
Well, yeah, it will be, certainly
that could
very
be
high
fun.
octane.
Yeah, that could be a fun match. I mean, I'm not a big tag team person, but but that could be fun.
This is actually one of the matches that I'm really looking forward to. So
yeah, that'll be cool.
Next up, we have the AEW Championship match, the co-main event of the evening. We have Cody Rhodes taking on Chris Jericho. Again, huge implications for this match. Chris Jericho is undefeated right now with 3 wins, singles victory at this point in time. I believe he's 2-0 in tag teams. Cody's currently standing at 3 wins and 1 draw. So I think it was for the TV time. But going ahead and calling this match, I don't know. This is the first time in the predictions where usually I hem and haw, but I have a decision. I have gone back and forth and back and forth. I want to see Jericho hold the belt for a long time.
Me too.
Remain champion and really, just stand tall. Then you hear stuff like Jericho wants to take some time off and, so maybe he could lose and take a break and then come back rejuvenated. But he said he wants to do that after the New Japan stuff. So that's like January time, so I could see him sticking around and really remaining champ till after the anniversary show. But even if you take all of the smart booking out of it, the smart mark stuff.
But then you add the stipulation of Cody. It's like, what?
That's the key factor here of him saying that he will never challenge for the AEW championship again. That's such a huge implication for him to be crowned the winner here. And the crowd would go nuts either which way. I think if Jericho retains, you have people still excited that he's the champion. But if Cody wins and it's an excellent match, my God, I think the roof could blow off the place. So
yeah, I think, but I would be definitely surprised though, because as much as I think eventually this ends with Cody as a champion and people just losing their minds. That's what I thought, but I feel like this is too soon for that to happen. But now that you say I will never challenge for it again, well then that makes what? So the only thing I can come up with is sometime down the road he goes, you know what? I'm breaking that bullshit. I'm breaking that because you want me to. You know, that's I don't know. Like I don't know what to tell you. This is really thrown me off.
Yeah, this one is beyond difficult to call.
Which is what they were trying to do with it, and it's fucking worked.
It has worked, and it makes this a must-see match for sure. Gun to my head, I'm gonna say Cody takes it here.
Oh, man.
I don't feel like that's a terrible decision, but I was weary of him becoming the champion with the position he has in the company. But he's been so over with the fans that my worries have, kind of gone ahead and cooled as of late. I mean, I'd prefer to see Jericho retain here. That's my preference.
Yeah, me too.
And I want Cody to win. I don't want to see it come down to a judge's decision. I don't think the crowd would care for that at all. I think it's going to be a long match. I think it's going to be like upwards of 35 minutes.
I kind of want Cody to win now, though, because now I don't want to go forever without him, you know what I mean, getting the belt. But I think Jericho will retain the belt because, as we've said for a while now, and this is going to really tell us about how they're going to book things. Because I feel like they would have Jericho win this title and keep it for 3 to 6 months, but I would go 6 months at least with this belt.
At least.
Or at least 2 or 3 pay-per-view defenses for Jericho.
And they said they will have a decision, obviously if they reach the time limit and no pinfall or submission has happened, then they're going to go to this judge decision, as a backup. That alone made it, highly interesting. But with Cody saying this, it's just, they could retcon it, and Whitehead says maybe if Cody turns heel, then he can break that, that claim that he'll never go for the title again.
Yeah, but that's the thing is the people want Cody to win it as a face. They really they love this guy. This guy is so over right now. It's insane. When he comes out there, it's like he's the president.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's a bad example nowadays because for the last fucking 20 years, everybody hates the president now. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody loves this guy.
It's like Michael Jackson. Damn, that's not a good example either. It's like Bill Cosby. I'm going to be quiet. But I get your point. I mean, he really is top notch.
I'm going Jericho, but this is a tough one.
I want Jericho. I'm going to go with Cody.
Wow.
I just with that announcement on Dynamite, fucking hell, really, that was a wrench in my machine.
Yeah.
Threw me off. So, and then they did announce that when the pay-per-view is done and the lights go off, then we will have our lights off unsanctioned match: Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega.
Well, wait a minute, but it won't be on the pay-per-view.
It'll be live on the show, but they want to give it a feel like it's not on Full Gear. It's after the show is over, and
right.
This way it's not part of AEW because they're
really doing it last. They're really doing it last.
That's what they had said on the show the other night.
Wow, I didn't even realize
when the lights
that.
go on, when the show ends and the lights go off, then we'll have Moxley versus Omega.
Wow.
So kind of an interesting, stipulation there, and they're really sticking to their guns of, not supporting this match and not going ahead and having it count. I mean, so Omega's at a 3-2 standing right now. Moxley's at a 2-win and 1 draw standing. But this doesn't count towards their records anyways. They made that statement as well. So
right.
That was one of Moxley's, points of contention. I think that Moxley's going to win here, which leads to him more than likely challenging for the title.
Jon Moxley for the title against whoever's the champion, which I would think would be Jericho. See, I think I would believe Moxley taking the belt off Jericho first, But I mean, eventually
he's equally as over as Cody.
It's hard to say. Is he?
Yeah.
Is he really? I feel
think
like Cody's
Moxley garners almost as much as the same reaction as Cody does.
I feel like Cody, when he comes out there, it's way more special than anybody. I don't think anybody has that feeling. I
think it's really close.
It might be kind of close, but I just don't.
I'm not saying Cody's not more revered, but I think that Moxley is right there. He's at that cusp of being close to equal. So.
Yeah, I mean, Cody has been getting cheered for like above everybody since he came out. It's like amazing. It's crazy. Like that fucking music hits and like people are just jerking off. It's kind of it surprised me how over he is. I mean, I feel it too when he comes. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go. I'm like, that's why when I had Cody on the show a couple weeks back, I'm like thinking, dude, this guy is like my favorite wrestler right now. He's had my favorite matches with his brother. And some of the other matches he's had, they've all been my favorite, just because of the emotion. So it's crazy to me, when I'm sitting here on the show, and I'm like, you're like one of the guys that runs AEW's, created all this stuff, and here he is, and I'm like, this is wild, and I had to not mention any of that because I didn't want to fucking get all weird, but I'm like, this is crazy. Like you're one of my favorite things going. It's unbelievable, and I feel that way too. So maybe
yeah, you don't want to be like, I love you so much.
Yeah, did you know Cody? But I mean, I did at one point because he was like, I'm trying to win that adulation. I'm like, dude, I think you won it. I think you have it. I don't know what
you were all set.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going unbelievably. And he's up against people who are having matches like the Young Bucks and stuff like that, and people are still deciding to cheer for him, who's having the classic kind of style wrestling matches that he's been having. So I don't know. That's just me. I enjoy Cody's matches better than almost anything else.
So far, he's given that right to us, to enjoy anything. I mean, the effort and the work he's put in. So,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, and we don't even. Yeah, it's just wild. It's I'm surprised. But anything. So Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega. I mean, what is Kenny? I mean, I know that the things don't count, but
yeah, that's why they can kind of recover from it's not really a loss. It is in the eyes of the fans, but not as standings. So
this is Moxley's first big match. You would think that, but Moxley attacks Omega, so Omega needs to get the payback on Moxley, I guess. But it's really kind of a face anything goes type of match, and Moxley's the new guy still to me, even though Omega and him both started at the same point with this company almost.
Yeah.
Or with the TV show, not with the company, I guess. I don't know, man. I guess I'm going Moxley.
That's my pick out now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to continue to push him as much as possible. They've handled his booking minus the injury. I mean, we would have already had this match. And in a way, I'm almost glad that we didn't get it yet, because the stipulation for this and the build has been even more special.
Right.
Sucks that he had to be injured for that to happen and has to deal with a infection all over again. But damn.
Yeah, it's good that it didn't get worse, and then he did get back and whatever else.
And he's been able to just basically allow that to fuel his return.
Right. Yeah.
I honestly feel like hey, damn, you guys counted me out. You said I wasn't going to be able to come back from the fight, and just every promo he's delivered since has been a thing of beauty.
Yeah, Moxley with a great promo. We forgot about, at least I did. Did I not mention his promo from the other night? Because he got a good promo too.
No. Yeah.
Didn't he have a good promo the other night, or was that last week?
That was the week before.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm speaking. He just kind of was there at the end, but
promos have been killing it. Well,
Edsview said, "How far do you think the violence goes?" I think that they're planning on some big things for that match. I mean, already they've introduced the barbed wire broom and baseball bat. So funny when you say that out loud. Think of it, barbed wire broom.
Yeah, I would assume this would be the opposite of Jon Moxley and Brock Lesnar, where they're fucking, we got all these weapons we're going to use, and
they're actually going to use them.
Yeah, they're actually going to be something that happens. I think it will go above what, just slightly above, if anything, what Janela and Moxley did, because they had a lot of table ladder stuff. They don't have a Joey Janela who's going to do these crazy flips off of everything. certainly Omega will do some things, but they're not going to be flippy flopping off ladders through tables that much, I don't think. So I think they will go more to the hardcore side of things. It looks like with, So I think that I think Moxley wants to get busted open, man. I think he wants to give some. He don't think he wants to give some of that MRSA to Omega.
Open your mouth.
Yeah, open my arm right here, and then let's cut you open, and let's see who can get MRSA. Which, by the way, I say that because that could be a problem. That could be something they're actually worried about.
It could be.
I'm not kidding.
I'm not sure. But
I don't remember how MRSA works exactly. I just know it's really bad, and it can be really fucked up. And if it's not cleared, you can still be. There can be problems. So I don't know. But yeah, I would expect Jon Moxley to be the one that gets pretty bloody. But yet will come out winning, I think. So there you go. I think that's the way to go. And here's the other thing. What's it going to be like when everybody has to buy this on pay-per-view? Who doesn't want to find an illegal stream that looks like shit? So we're back to this. We're back to... Because this isn't on the Fight app or anywhere else, right? This is only pay-per-view.
No, I believe it is... Let me pull this back up here.
You might be able to buy it. You might be able to buy it on the Fight app. I don't know.
I thought it was on the Fight app, but I could be wrong.
Oh no, it's on. Wouldn't it be on BR Live? It wouldn't. It would be on BR Live.
That was the one.
Bleacher Report. Yeah. So Bleacher Report Live again.
Bleacher Report.
But it will also be on pay-per-view, I assume too. So
yeah.
Either way, pay-per-view or Bleacher Report Live.
Just Google the words "watch wrestling," and they usually have, you covered. If you
think it's Fight app though too, if you're outside the U.S. or something like that. So you maybe. But I know BR Live. Bleacher Report, the app, I already have it. You can watch all their other pay-per-views there, so that's the good news there. Is you can go back. I think you can go back and watch any other one that you bought, right? Any other one that you bought, I think you can still go back and watch it.
I believe so.
If you can't, I'm wondering, one thing I wish I had asked Cody about is, do they plan on releasing, like, having an app? You know what I mean? Like, where you can watch all the previous ones or whatever, or, release Blu-rays, or what is the scenario here for watching older content? That'd be a good question to ask. I know we're in a digital age with everything now on DVR stuff, but I don't know. I wonder what they'll do. I mean, I guess you just burn it yourself if you want, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that's all the time we have. We got to get the fuck out of here.
It's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view no matter what. So
yeah, looking forward to Full Gear Saturday. We'll be live after Full Gear. Jake, will you be here on Saturday or no?
I don't know yet. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see how things play out. And I checked really quick. It says MRSA is usually spread by contact with infected people carrying the bacteria. So I don't even believe they have to have an outbreak of it, of a staph infection. This includes contact with a contaminated wound or even by sharing personal items such as towels or razors that the infected skin has touched. So it's only spread by contact, but I don't believe that even if you're carrying it, I think you need to have an outbreak for it to actually, you have to be, with infection for it to be communicable.
Yeah. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. So
I just knew about it because Leah had it right before I met Leah. She had it, and she has like a scar on the side of her where they ripped it out and all these things. Like, it's a big scar. Like, you could stick your hand in a hole in the side of her.
Yeah, I have it in my chest. I have
you got it too?
There.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, show your
it's
nipples.
Massive.
Show your nipples.
It's hard to see, but yeah, baby.
You had it too, then?
Yeah, I had a terrible staph infection.
Jesus.
I woke up on Danny's birthday with 106.5 degree fever and almost died.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I was
in the hospital for 90 days with that.
90 days?
90 days straight. And then I went home for 4, and then I was back in for 45.
And how long were you in when you had your head up and neck surgery?
The brain surgery, I was in ICU for a few days, I think 4. And
yeah, I say neck surgery. It's brain surgery.
I was in the ICU briefly. It wasn't that long, so.
Really? That's so fucked, dude. 90 days in the hospital?
90 days straight. They sent me home with IV vancomycin.
Jesus.
And I started to get better. Things had finally flared down, and then all of a sudden the symptoms came back, and I had to go on a more aggressive treatment.
Who paid that bill?
That was awful. That was Medicare and me for part of it, in combination.
That's like fucking like $300,000.
Oh yeah.
Or
Super
that's
expensive.
more than that. I mean, like 90 days.
Yeah. Well, luckily it was I was admitted to the hospital itself, but it was in a like turn down ward because it was limited care past the first.
Oh, right. So it wasn't like you're in the ER spending, $1,000.
I was only in the emergency room one day, and then they admitted me right from there. I was in a isolation room for 3 days.
Yep.
And then admitted for the rest of the time.
When Leah had the first kid, our first kid, it was like they were fucking, like I said, they come in like a beekeeper suit on.
Yeah, well, that scared the shit out of me, yeah.
Oh, like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck?
It looks like you're out of E.T. I have like 3
and I'm
memories
like, is there something I should know? I sleep naked next to her.
Should I be scared or
like should I be fucking
I have sex with her?
I had sex with her to have this baby. Like, should something be happening? I mean, you're in here, you guys all have clothes on, you're coming in here with a fucking hazmat suit. What the fuck? I just licked her side yesterday. Like, but imagine that, they'd rip your tongue out. Like, Jesus. Like, what the fuck?
Just tongs coming in, a big steak knife.
It was so weird, man. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I remember getting to the hospital and passing out as they packed me with ice. And then I don't remember anything for like a day and a half. And then when I woke up again, I freaked out because I was in this separate room, and the doctor and nurse that was in there were wearing, like I said, the hazmat suits, like something out of E.T., because they wanted to make sure I didn't pick up some like crazy rare disease at that point in time. Wow. They didn't know what it was initially, so they have to be very precautious. And I just remember waking up and seeing them, drawing blood as, in these crazy suits. And
I would
freak
lose,
out.
God damn it, dude. I would lose my mind in the hospital. I lost my mind. I stayed in the hospital with the kids for 3 days. I'd lose my mind, like 90 days. Like, that's so insanely psychological. Like, even just being away from home, even not in the full hospital side like you said you weren't in. But that is some crazy shit. But I do want to say one last thing. I did put up a podcast yesterday, part 1 of my new podcast on my gaming channel, which if you guys don't follow my gaming channels, I have 2. Twitch, which you guys know, twitch.tv/JoeCroninJCS, and my other gaming channel on YouTube, which is Evil Spectrum 3. So go to Evil Spectrum 3 and subscribe to that if you guys like. My latest stuff, I mean, I put up the wrestling stuff sometimes, but mostly it's not wrestling. It's like other games and stuff like that. I just did a episode 1 talking about Diablo 4. I'm going to be making a lot of Diablo 3, Diablo 4 content, some PUBG content. So if you like that sort of thing, check out Evil Spectrum 3, especially if you're a guy who likes, or a girl who likes the action RPGs, MMOs, and all that stuff, and especially the new Diablo stuff. Talking a lot about Diablo over there. And I stream once in a while games over there randomly. Even though I do my Sunday night gaming here, I do a lot of other gaming stuff randomly on Twitch, Joe Cronin JCS on Twitch, and which will be renamed soon, possibly, to the Evil Spectrum name as well. But Evil Spectrum 3 on YouTube, formerly Spectrum Gaming, and formerly Battle Royale Battalion, now Evil Spectrum 3 on YouTube. Jake, anything you want to say before you go?
No, I'm extremely excited for this pay-per-view, and I can't wait to see what happens. There's so many what-if scenarios, and I don't think they're going to disappoint. Certainly seems like they've been planning, to make this special. That's for damn sure.
And hopefully we'll figure out what the hell's been going wrong with Skype. We have not been trying to ignore you guys on the phones. I promise you. Something is wrong with Skype. I even called in
from my cell phone a few times to test it, and it wasn't even ringing. It was just going straight to busy.
Yeah, and when I take a call, and I hit the button to take the call, it just disappears. It goes nowhere. So no idea what the hell is going on Skype right now. But everybody that's been calling, I've actually been taking your calls, and it's not worked at all. I think if I turned off Skype or hung up on Jake and restarted the call, I think it would work. But then it would go away again. And that's really weird. I don't understand. So just more stupid shit from Skype. Check out my Patreon if you guys haven't. I uploaded some stuff earlier that you can't even hear on YouTube. I talked about why Cody doesn't use his last name, and I talked a little bit about some other stuff, comparing it to Road Dogg and some other things as well. And then we've got bonus content coming up there from me and my wife and my morning podcast and so on and so forth. See you tomorrow night for Monetize This over on Corrupted Nation. Tomorrow night, I don't know. We might say goodbye to my liver tomorrow night. I'll monetize this at 11 p.m. So come on over.
Might just happen.
What?
Might just happen. That liver's going bye-bye.
Yep, and then you guys will have to take care of my kids. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Love everybody. Thank you so much for all the donations. Everybody who's dropping some donations tonight, dropping a few bucks. Much appreciated. And special shout-out to J-Boat. J-Boat was the largest donation of the night. He's going to take home the JCS Digital Championship tonight. He's going to wear it proud. November 8th, 2019. I'll see you guys on Twitter as well. Yo, Ed's View. Ed's View's in the chat. What's up? Konnichiwa. Love you, Ed. What up? Thanks to all the mods tonight. A lot of cat fucker friends. Everybody, we'll see you later. See you after Monetize, or during Monetize This, and after AEW Full Gear. And then Sunday Night Gaming for Sunday Night Gaming. And I'm going to play... Well, no, I'm going to go render some shit while I talk about some shit. Goodbye. What was that, Tommy?
It is fucking hard.
Oh, come on.
It is fucking hard.
Purple penis.
Wow. Hey, Leah, what's going on with you, Leah? My wife's on the phone. Hello, Leah.
That's right, they're nice tits. They're fucking beautiful. They're fucking wicked awesome, man.
Oh. Good night.